Pokemon remakes have been around for many years as a way to revisit past Pokemon regions in a new light or discover a region that you may have not had the chance to experience for the first time. And now, after 15 years since the original release of Pokemon Diamond and Pearl in 2006, these games are here to be remade as Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. As a kid, the Sinnoh region was easily the region that I had spent the most time in. I've played through the game so many times that the entire adventure is engraved into my head at this point. And crafting remakes can be a challenge. Change too much of what players might want, and it could end up with some mixed reactions like with Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee. But by changing just the perfect amount of stuff and adding more content, you can create some of the most spectacular Pokemon games and ones that are loved by so many people, such as the incredible Pokemon Heart Gold and Soul Silver. So which one is it for Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, and was it done well? The content of Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl is by far the most important aspect of this review. If you played the original Pokemon Diamond and Pearl, then you'll be happy to know that these remakes are exactly the same as you remember in almost every way. From the layouts of the areas, the dialogues that characters say, and even the Pokemon and levels that are used by each trainer. It really feels like just the classic Pokemon Diamond and Pearl that you played in the past. Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl also introduces new content into these games which was never before seen in the past. One of these introductions is the Pokemon Hideaways. Once you unlock the Grand Underground fairly early into the game, you can discover Pokemon Hideaways underneath Sinnoh's ground. These Pokemon Hideaways are laid out with some pretty designs and are home to many Pokemon. A lot of the Pokemon that you can encounter here are rare, and it allows you to get access to powerful party members from early into the game. Pokemon like Houndoom and Absol can be caught right around the time that you receive your second gym badge. Another large piece of new content is the Ramanas Park, which is unlocked in the post-game. This area in the original Diamond and Pearl used to be known as PAL Park, where in the original DS, you could insert your GBA cartridges into the DS and then transfer Pokemon from Gen 3 into Gen 4 and even use the Poké Radar to encounter rare Pokemon. As that is not possible with the Switch, PAL Park has been renamed to Ramanas Park, where you can encounter and capture strong legendary Pokemon in order to complete your Pokédex. Other forms of new content that were not present in the original games include some aesthetic additions that makes the game more customized for you. There's a variety of clothing options so you can customize your trainer to how you would like them to look instead of just having the default design the whole game like in the original Diamond and Pearl. Following Pokemon was also a feature that was loved a lot since its introduction in Pokemon Heart Gold and Soul Silver, and it has also returned with these games. Pretty much all of the content that I loved in Pokemon Diamond and Pearl is back in these remakes, from Pokemon contests and even customizing your Pokeballs with effects. Even the events for mythical Pokemon such as Darkrai and Shaman can be relived through these remakes and are exactly the same. Now, while there is a good amount of content in these games from the originals, Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl also has its fair share of lack of content. Many of you guys may know that in addition to the original Pokemon Diamond and Pearl in 2006, there was a special enhanced version that was released 2 years later in 2008 known as Pokemon Platinum version. Pokemon Platinum fixed many of the issues that were present in Pokemon Diamond and Pearl and refined the Sinnoh adventure into a more beautiful and enjoyable one for all Pokemon fans. A lot of these changes, however, were cut or avoided with Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, which was very unusual. Many of the important trainers in the original game did not use Pokemon that made a lot of sense. The last gym leader Volkner, for example, is an electric type specialist but used a normal type Pokemon like Ambipom as well as a water type like Octillery. Pokemon Platinum fixed his team by giving him strong electric Pokemon such as Jolteon and Electivire, which really suited him better. Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, however, does not adopt these changes and still uses the old teams, which just isn't the best representation. Now with the post-game, you can actually face these trainers with better teams, but it is just disappointing how they couldn't be a part of the main adventure. Another amazing part of Pokemon Platinum was the Distortion World. This was a special anti-universe that you got to experience where you could walk on the walls, ceilings, or even surf upside down. Having an environment like this crafted in HD on the Nintendo Switch would have been incredible and had a lot of potential. Unfortunately, all of the Distortion World is scrapped from these remakes. Now of course the Distortion World was centered around the Pokemon Giratina, so having it be a part of the main adventure wouldn't really make a lot of sense with the remakes. However, it would have been great to see a special post-game epilogue type of episode to adventure through the Distortion World and capture Giratina. The biggest lack of content in these remakes from Pokemon Platinum, however, is the Battle Frontier. The Battle Frontier is an incredible post-game area where there are 5 different facilities, all with extremely powerful Frontier brains and are an incredible challenge to take on, all with their own unique twists that make them even more difficult. Facing off against these trainers on the big screen on the TV would have been really fun, but this entire aspect has sadly been scrapped from these games. Many people will say that including platinum content wouldn't make sense in these games since they are said to be faithful remakes of the originals. I disagree with that a lot, as a lot of the content from Pokemon Platinum would have been very welcomed in these games, and to remake a game in 2021 for $60 and have less content than the $35 2008 game just isn't the best move. And the content, as mentioned earlier with Pokemon hideaways and trainer customization, isn't really a lot when you look at the scale of new additions to content from past Pokemon remakes. Pokemon Fire Red and Leaf Green introduced the Sevi Islands, which were multiple new areas full of buildings and content to explore in the post-game. Pokemon Heart Gold and Soul Silver introduced following Pokemon, the Battle Frontier, and even the Pokeathlon where you could play mini games with your Pokemon. There was even the Pokewalker that came with the game where you could transfer Pokemon to it and level them up in real life by walking around. Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire introduced many Mega Evolutions for Pokemon, and there was also the Delta episode in the post-game to encounter Mega Rayquaza and Deoxys. And on top of that, there was also the soaring feature where you could fly over the Hoenn region on Mega Latios or Latias and encounter strong legendary Pokemon. The Pokemon hideaways and other small changes in Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl just really don't come close to the amount of content that was introduced in those prior remakes. The gameplay of Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl is your typical Pokemon game formula of adventuring through various cities, defeating gym leaders, and trying to take down an organization hoping to harness the legendary Pokemon's power. By being a part of the 8th generation, there are changes to these games in terms of balance, such as how Togekiss is now a flying type, and Pokemon can learn moves like acrobatics, which didn't exist in the original Gen 4 games. One of the more welcome gameplay changes, however, is the system of HMs, which are now tied to your Poke-Etch watch. In the original games, you needed to have a Pokemon in your party with access to important moves such as Surf, Rock Climb, and Strength when it was necessary, but having these hidden moves tied to your watch now as you unlock them allows you to free up that party slot for a Pokemon that you actually would like to train. Speaking of training Pokemon, that is one of the features that has a lot of mixed reactions with these games. The EXP share is an item that allows your Pokemon to gain some experience points even if they did not participate in battle. Prior to Gen 6, this was an item that you could give to a Pokemon to hold, and it would receive some EXP over time. Gen 6 onward, this item began to apply to your entire party, but with Generation 8, another restriction was placed on it, and that was this item is now forced on. Because of this, your Pokemon will always gain EXP from capturing Pokemon and battling regardless, and there is no way to turn it off. This is definitely something that I'm personally not a fan of, as I just found it to make the game significantly easier, and I didn't have any choice to disable it. Just battling all the trainers that I encountered put my party sometimes 3 to 6 levels above the strongest Pokemon of a gym leader, and it just didn't feel fair. The affection system in these games is also ridiculously OP, as it comes from following Pokemon. If you decide to walk a lot with your Pokemon, you will be raising their affection a lot in battle. This will give them boosted chances for avoiding attacks, surviving on 1 HP, and landing critical hits, which really isn't required for a game like this, which is already pretty easy. Unfortunately, there is no option to turn off just raising the affection this way, so if you do want following Pokemon, you're basically going to make the game super easy. There's also some other questionable decisions with the gameplay that don't really make a lot of sense. One of these is how TMs are now back to single-use items. Generation 5 made it so that you could use these TMs as many times as you want, but these remakes go back to the concept of having a TM break after one use. It's really just something that's a step back for no reason, as just having infinite usable TMs would have been one of the more welcome quality of life changes. Overall, there's just some questionable decisions that they've made with some of the gameplay elements. Ever since the reveal, the graphics of Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl have been an interesting discussion. The initial trailer for how these games looked back in February just wasn't the best and had a lot of people that weren't fans, but over time through the trailers and up to the final release, the game has improved a lot visually. Of course, while it is still up to preference for if you like this graphical style, I think that it's alright. It is pretty easy to tell that they were going for the simple top-down style of remaking these games like the original Diamond and Pearl. And while the art style is fine, I do wish that they went for a more grand scope where you could pan the camera to gaze up at Spear Pillar, and just have a more immersive type of game, especially being on a home console now with the Nintendo Switch. The characters in the overworld had miniature chibi-like models, which is a hit or miss for many people. While some may love this type of character design and find them adorable, others may also find them looking like cheap Funko Pops. It really comes down to what you prefer. The environments do have a soft blur effect on them with the edges, and I really do think that it helps the game a lot, and it does look very colorful and vibrant. The battles also look pretty good for the most part. The animations and models are of course reused, but one of the things I really appreciated with the battles in these games was how good some of the battle backgrounds looked. When you were battling inside a building, you actually got to see a background of that, and some of the other ones like the Starry Night over water are also gorgeous. There is significant improvement over Pokemon Sword and Shield, for example, where you would battle Marnie inside of this void while the battle is just taking place inside of a hotel. That being said, Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl do have a few bad void backgrounds here and there, but for the most part it is better than Sword and Shield. In terms of a technical perspective, these games are disappointing as they still only run at 720p 30 FPS. The textures and models of this game are really not anything that would cause the Switch a ton of strain to render, so there's really no excuse for why this game can't be in 1080p. RPG games like Pokemon also don't need to have the highest FPS, but there's also no reason why a game like this can't be 60 FPS either, considering there isn't a lot of crazy movements. Having fluid animations from attacks and even just going through the UI would have been very welcome to have in 60 FPS, but sadly these games do not have it. If a big adventure game with full console models like The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword HD can run in both 1080p and 60 FPS, there's really no reason why Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl can't do the same. The Sinnoh games are home to one of the most beautiful Pokemon soundtracks of all time. The original games have so many good themes such as Jubilife City for areas, battle themes like Team Galactic, and even route themes like Route 209. I'm very happy to say that the soundtrack in these remakes is phenomenal and does Sinnoh justice. Every track has been remade to feel more lively and it's just very well crafted. Some of these tracks, however, are locked behind a version 1.1 update, so it is very important that if you do purchase these games, make sure you update the game first immediately before you start playing. The soundtrack really captures the Sinnoh vibe well, and honestly impressed me the most throughout these games. I would say that this is one of the best Pokemon soundtracks that we've had in a few years. The controls of Pokemon games are very simple, and that of course is the same with Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. You've got the L stick to move your character around and select options, and the A button to select and the B button to go back. Even navigating through the menus and UIs feels just like the classic Pokemon Diamond and Pearl games. A very minor issue that I had was with the way that the poke edge is implemented, as you press the R button to bring it up in the corner and then have to hold the button in order to make it go away. It would have been very nice to just push it to snap it on and off really fast, but it's just a very small thing. In the end, Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl are what they set out to be. Remakes of the original 2006 Diamond and Pearl games. The adventure is laid out the same way and the content from the original games is present with some changes. There's definitely content that is missing from what would have easily been able to take these games to the next level, especially from Pokemon Platinum. Some of the gameplay changes are also not the best as they restrict you from having options to play how you would want, but the controls are easy and the soundtrack is easily one of the most beautiful ones we've had in a while. All in all, if you have access to Pokemon Platinum from your own cartridge or through an emulator, you should really consider if this is worth it before dropping an entire $60 on these games, especially with what the content is lacking. But if you've never played through the Sinnoh games before and you don't have access to a 3DS or an emulator to play Pokemon Platinum, then Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl is a nice way to get a feel for what Gen 4 is like. If these games included all of the content from Pokemon Platinum and then added even more additional new content on top, I would give it a 10. Having all of the content from Pokemon Platinum alone would give it a 9, and just all the content from the original Pokemon Diamond and Pearl would land it an 8. And so because of that and a few slight additions, Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl gets an 8.3 from me, and just for reference, here's a couple of scores that I would give to some of the other games. And so yeah, there you go guys, that is my review of Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. If you guys enjoyed this video, then definitely be sure to click that like button and also comment down below. Let me know how you guys feel about these games. Did you guys like Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl? Did you not like them? What would you guys rate these games? Definitely be sure to comment down below and let me know. If you're new to this channel, then please be sure to subscribe. I'm definitely going to have some more Pokemon content in the future, so definitely be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on that. Click on that bell to become a part of the notification squad. Go follow me on Twitter at Aero so you can be featured in videos, and also join my Discord server as well. We've got a bunch of people in there who are always talking about Pokemon and Smash Bros and Nintendo, so definitely be sure to join that. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for watching.